This is going to be a super easy tutorial on how to make and award a badge to a player under a certain condition. But what actually is a badge? Now, a badge is pretty much like an achievement. It's something that is stapled to the player's profile for maybe doing something in your game. Maybe they unlocked a certain pet or beat a certain level. You can award it under any condition. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So for example here, what we want our final product to be is whenever we actually touch this part here, all it is a normal base part. Whenever we touch it, we just want the player to be given a badge, which is actually super simple to do, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it now. So first of all, we actually need to create a badge. So what you're actually going to do is you're going to head up onto the Roblox website, you're going to click this little create button in the top. Next, you want to head over to your creations, and then click the world that you want to make it on. Then what you're going to do is on the left, you're going to scroll all the way down until you see badges underneath engagement. And you can see I've already got a few here. This is just some testing I was doing beforehand, but all you're going to do is click the create a badge button. Now you will have to upload an image for this, otherwise it's not going to work. So I'm just going to use that. Just give it a name. I'm going to call this test 3 because I already have 2 tests, so I'm just going to make this test number 3. Don't have to worry about a description, you don't really need that unless you're trying to make it personalized, then go for it. And keep in mind this little warning here. So for your first 5 badges that you create in a 24-hour period, they're free. But if you need to create any more, it's 100 Robux each. So I would just do it in 5 increments because you don't really need to create any more than 5 in a day. Unless you're working on a really big project with a really big deadline, then I would recommend doing that. But all you're going to do now is just click create badge, and then you'll see your badge right here. All you're going to need to do is click on it and click copy asset ID. Now we can head straight back into Roblox Studio and we're ready to begin scripting. So we're actually only going to need one script for this, and that script is going to live inside of our part. So we're just going to click on the white plus and we're going to make a script. I'm just going to call this badge script, and then you just got to delete the default text as always. So whenever you're dealing with badges, you actually need to get badge service, because that is, it's pretty self-explanatory. That is the service that deals with all the badges, awarding them and so forth. So we're going to say local badge service equals game :get service badge service. Next, we actually need to get our players because we need to know who we're awarding this to. So we're going to say local players equals game :get service players. And then we actually need to get the part that we need to touch. So we're going to say local part equals script.parent. And then we actually need to get our badge ID, which is a little asset ID that we copied earlier. So we're going to say local badge ID equals, and then paste in your badge ID. So now we have our variable set up. All we actually need to do now is detect when our part is touched and award that badge to them. So we're just going to say part.touched :connect function, and in brackets we need to put hit, because this is what has actually touched the part, so we need to get what has touched the part and check if it's a player. So we're going to say local player equals players :get player from character hit.parent. So what this line actually does is we're getting players from the player service, and we're saying get player from character. So hit.parent is the character that we're trying to get from, and our hit is what has touched our part, and hit.parent is what we're looking for. We are looking for the character inside our hit. So now we actually need to run a number of checks to make sure that it is actually a player touching our part, and also to see if the player already has the badge. So we're going to say if not player, so if it's not the player, or badge service :user has badge async, and then it's asking us to put a user ID, so we're going to say player.user ID, badge ID, we'll put badge ID, then. So what it's saying here is if it's not a player, or if this player already owns the badge, then we're just going to say return. Now you may be wondering, what does return do? In an if statement, return simply breaks the function and it will continue onto the next line. So now we actually need to award our badge to the player. We've done all of our checks, so now it's just going to move down to the next line, and we're going to simply call badge service :award badge, and then we need to put in the user ID, player.user ID, and then the badge number to award, which would be badge ID. And that is the entire script. So let me quickly run you through it one more time. So all we're doing is we're saying part.touch. So whenever this part is touched, we're going to get the hit variable, which is the person or something, the object that has actually hit our part. And then we're saying local player equals players :get player from character hit.parent, which is actually just getting the character from the thing that has hit this. So if it's not a character, then we're going to check it here, and we're going to say Oh, actually, do they already own that Game Pass? And if so, we're going to return, which just means we're going to break out of it and then we're just going to move on to the next line. And then we're simply going to call badge service award badge, player.userid, and badge ID. So now if we go ahead and test it, you can see that once I walk over this part, I'm awarded a badge. And you can see that I'm only being awarded it once. Every single other time I run over it, it's not going to work. And this will work for every single person in your game as well. So there you go. If this video did actually help you, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any comments or concerns or your code isn't working, please let me know down in the comments below. We also have a Discord server with people that are going to help you solve your code if you have any problems with it, or just chat in general if you want to make some new friends. And yeah, make sure to also join our Roblox group in the description. If you're in that and the Discord server, you get a nice little role. Anyways, I'll see you later.